Hi there, my name is Kaylee.
My name is Shay.
And we're tackling some big debt.
In the Big Apple.
Back in the Big Apple.
Yes, finally.
We're home.
Yeah.
For those who are new, we got married.
Yes, we did.
A matter of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Just a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I will link the video where we first discussed the budget down in the little thingy, in the box with the stuff. And now all things have settled and cleared, and we can take a look at how much money we spent getting married.
Yeah.
Now, some things to keep in mind. Things happened that were paid for by other people.
Many things.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
Shay's parents hosted the wedding at their house.
Yes, they did.
So they paid for some stuff. They paid for improvements to the property. We also didn't have to spend venue money because they paid for it. Just like Shay's mom paid for the flowers. Just a few things here and there. Like, we would never ever claim in a million bajillion years that we did this completely on our own.
Yeah. We had so much help.
Whether it was like helping Shay with the wedding dress or cash money or, like just picking up a grocery tab for us or whatever. Like, my dad paid for the rehearsal dinner and all that stuff. So just blanket statement. It would have cost more than this if we didn't have the wonderful people around us who helped us in all the many ways that they did.
Yeah, it would have cost
probably closer to $15,000.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
I would say probably twice as much. If we had
paid for a venue?
Well, if we didn't have any help.
Yeah. If we didn't have any help at all, then it would have easily doubled, maybe more.
Yeah, we were quite lucky.
So let's take a look at the numbers so you have a little bit of context here. So to no one's surprise, these budget nerds have a spreadsheet for their wedding.
Yes.
Shay kept up with the spreadsheet very diligently throughout, and kept it going and updated until the very end, and then we just stopped paying attention to it because it was already happening. So, to start, the venue, as we said, was technically free because it was at Shay's parents' house.
Yeah.
It was the house that she grew up in. It was really beautiful. That was worth all $0 that we spent on it.
Yes, it was.
If we'd had to pay for a venue in New York City or Connecticut, it would have been maybe another $20,000 minimum.
Yeah.
So, lucked out there majorly that Shay's parents' house is not ugly. What it did need, though, was additional space that is covered. Mm-hmm. So we rented a tent.
Yes.
And the total of all things for the tent, some leg drapes for a tent, which I had to learn what those were. Mm-hmm. This company also provided the chairs and the tables, and we put down a deposit for that. So all in was $1,376.
Yes. They
came and delivered it the day before. They set everything up. Mm-hmm. It was really, really nice. And then it rained a lot on the day of our wedding.
I actually, like, if there's one recommendation that we can make is that if you're doing an outdoor wedding,
get a tent.
Get a tent.
Get a tent.
Yeah.
Because even if it hadn't rained a lot, which it did a lot, it would just nice to have the shade, just have the coverage. It was worth it.
Yeah.
It felt a little silly at first. It was worth it.
Super worth it.
So do that. The food. We did a little unconventional situation where we did not have a caterer, but we booked a pizza truck.
It was so tasty.
Also something we learned the whole time leading up to the wedding, we kept saying, people who say they don't eat at their wedding, how silly. We paid this much for the food. We're going to eat it. We had so little time.
Yeah.
We had so little time to eat at the wedding.
I had 2 slices of pizza.
I think I had 2. We had 2 slices of pizza together only because one of your pranks was
involved
eating food.
Food, yes.
So we got a pizza truck. They just backed right up. They had a wood-fired pizza oven in the back of the truck. They made a bunch of food. We had 2 slices. They were really good. I heard nothing but really good things about it.
It was absolutely wonderful.
Totally worth it.
Yeah.
We paid $700 for a deposit. We paid $1,350 for the truck. We tipped them another $370 tax. We had to pay a little travel fee. And then the day before the wedding, my family had flown in and they came over to Shay's parents' house to help set everything up. And so we bought a nice lunch for everyone and it was kind of rad.
Yeah.
So food all in for wedding was $2,881.
Yeah.
And again, the food included, was there salad?
Yeah.
There was salad, there was pizza, there was gelato, there was espressos. Like, it was really nice. It was almost entirely, we had some little snacks that we provided other than that, but mostly all inclusive.
It was fantastic.
So it's super worth it.
Yeah. We chose not to have a cake, and I stand by that decision.
When would we have time to have a cake? It was crazy. There was no time. It went by so fast.
Yeah.
Okay, drinks. We went to Costco the week of the wedding. We call that our wedding Costco now. And we bought booze and we bought not booze.
Yes.
So,
I could have theoretically gone through and itemized everything the way that I had previously had this itemized in earlier versions of the budget, but it simply wasn't worth it.
No. So, and we also, again, one of the things of people who helped, Shay's aunt had a bunch of, she throws a lot of events. She has a newspaper, it's a whole thing. And she gifted us a lot of alcohol, which we then used to make mixed drinks.
Yep.
So
she got us 3 cases of wine and 5 bottles each of gin and bourbon.
Yeah, we made some mixed cocktails with those things.
So, sorry.
What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say that the alcohol that we purchased was beer, couple extra bottles of wine because my mother had some.
And then stuff to make the mixed drinks.
Yes.
And like sodas and stuff for people who don't drink alcohol.
Bottled water, all that stuff.
So all that stuff. So what we spent was $336 on drinks, but probably would have been minimum double that.
Yeah.
If we had to buy the hard liquor.
Yeah.
Shay's dress. If you haven't seen the video, I will also link that below. Shay made her dress herself with her hands.
I did.
Which is crazy. And there's a video of that down below. She also had this lovely little arm cuff.
Yeah.
And she had obviously buy a wedding ring.
Mm-hmm.
So Shay's outfit, all in 100% head to toe, was $1,006.
Yes.
Nice job.
Thank you.
My outfit, hilariously, was more expensive than Shay's, and I didn't even need to buy a ring. So my suit was $1,150 alone.
Mm-hmm.
But again, something that contributed to us spending more money on my suit was a friend of mine who's very lovely gave us $1,000 as like an early wedding present to put towards my suit specifically, so I could get a suit custom made to fit in a way that made me happy, and it fit super good.
Yes.
And I was super comfy and had the best time.
Mm-hmm.
My ring, it was my grandmother's wedding ring, and we had it resized to fit my fingy because her fingers are a little bit smaller than mine, but less than we thought.
Mm-hmm.
And that was basically my entire outfit.
Yeah.
More money than Shay's, which is so funny because that never happens.
I think it's appropriate.
I think so too.
Because mine was also custom, but it was just custom in a different way.
Yeah. Photography and videography, we spent about $2,500. Mm-hmm. Most of that was to our photographer and her assistant. And then Shay's younger brother's girlfriend had to step in and kind of save the day with videography last minute.
Yes, we had our videographer. I mean, we weren't going to have him do like a whole ton of stuff. It was going to be pretty minimal, but he
was in a car accident like the week before the wedding.
Yeah, he had to drop out at the last minute, which obviously is super understandable. But she definitely swooped in and saved the day. And she wanted to do it for free and actually yelled at me for Venmoing her.
But we said absolutely not.
Artists deserve to be paid.
Yes.
So
we sent Abby some money.
Yeah.
And then coffee for Trish. Trish is our photographer, and we had a pre-meeting, and so we bought coffee for her.
Yeah.
Transportation. We were going to tip. We'd hired some drivers to drive our friends and family back and forth from the train station, and we were going to tip them, but then Shay's mom, that's something that she covered as well. And then we were going to get an Uber the night after the wedding, or the night of the wedding. We were going to go to like a hotel and just have a night away from everyone, and then the Uber never showed up, so Shay's dad had to drive us.
Yeah.
Which was super romantic. Luckily, your dad is so nice.
Yes.
And he was so happy. He was just so having such a good time.
Yeah, he was having just the best time.
He was so happy.
Yeah.
Music, we paid another one friend of the family, Shay's good friend from childhood.
Yes.
Is a DJ and very good at it. And he DJ'd. And again, he volunteered to do it for free. And we said no. And we gave him $300.
Yep.
The speaker setup, Shay's brother is a musician, and he had a whole speaker setup, so we just used his.
Yep.
And he set that up for us, so we didn't have to pay anyone.
Yep. He had the whole PA system. We had a mic and 2 big booms, and that was awesome. All that we needed. It was great.
And then the processional song, we paid for a piano cover of a song that we really love, because again, pay artists. The linens, Shay's mom had already.
Yes.
There's tablecloths that we already had.
Mm-hmm.
The flowers, Shay's mom bought.
Yes.
Shay went to the store with the full intent of swiping the card, and her mom was just like, no.
Yeah.
again, we'll be grateful till the day we die about how much help we had for this wedding. Yeah. Application and license. It was funny. It cost $35 to apply for the license, and then another $25 to do the ceremony. And I'm like, just charge me $60. What are we doing?
I don't know.
Same place. Yeah. It costs $60 to be legally wed in the state of New York, which is where we are wed. Save the dates, invitations, envelopes, postage stamps, all that, all in. Shay made them. I was gonna say we made them. Shay made them, and had them printed at Staples, and we sent them out and all that stuff. And we put little liners in envelopes when we were doing glue sticks for 4 days. Oh, and then we hosted it. The RSVP link we posted a QR code on the back of the invite so people could just scan it and then RSVP on their phone, which was rad.
Yes, that was a big hit.
That was $180, but was very cool, and we didn't have to trust the U.S. Postal Service to get the RSVPs back to us, because God knows. So $453 for invites, save the dates, postage, QR code hosting,
all of that stuff.
And then this is just a lot of stuff. Yeah. So bought candlesticks, bought a steamer. We mailed my sister a little maid of honor package. Shay bought a skirt for the wedding shower. We bought Shay perfume. We both got a perfume, but my friend bought mine as a gift. So we both got a special scent that we wore only for the wedding and honeymoon. Yeah. For scent memory. Yes. Hanger top.
That's the top that I got for my bachelorette party.
It says Nunya. Oh, those are my pranks. Yes. I spent some money on so for our wedding we did pranks on each other, and we each had 2 pranks, and my pranks I had to spend some money on.
That also includes the money that I spent on it.
Yeah. But most of it is my prank. This was my prank. Can you imagine turning around for your first look at your wedding and this is looking back at you? Because that's what happened to Shay.
It was incredible.
Flasks. We did a shot during our wedding ceremony. Don't ask questions. And then photo frames. We had some framed photos of our grandparents who have passed.
Somewhat recently.
We got some nice frames.
Yes.
So, our grand total. These numbers are a little wonky because we didn't update them. Yes. Sue me. I was busy getting married. Grand total we spent on the wedding, $10,906.67. Yes. Again, that's with all the help that we received, which was a lot. Ignore the savings because it's not really savings because it's gone. Yes. But the total that we saved was $11,422.90. And that's about $500 more than we needed.
If I had spent that on the flowers,
it would have been the flowers.
It would have been our full savings total.
So we had some money left over technically. So what we did was the night that we went upstate after the wedding and just spent a day kind of away being freshly married. And Shay's mom was going to pay for it, and then we just sneakily paid for one of the nights and didn't tell her. Yeah. Campbell, don't tell her. So, is there anything you would have done differently as far as wedding budget, spend, finances?
No. However.
I was going to say great, video over.
However. No, we did great. The thing that we decided to do that ended up being a great idea was that we purposely knocked down what our original planned total was going to be. So there were a couple things that I was like, you know what? We don't need a pianist for the ceremony. We don't need, there were other small things that we kind of cut from the budget so that we had a little bit of buffer in our budget for unexpected things that were inevitably going to come up. And that was a huge win for us because we needed all of that.
Yeah, I don't know how we would have saved more, but I wish we had, because we came in pretty close. There was a moment there we sat down and did the math like the weekend before because we were like, I don't know, we got to make sure all these checks are going to clear. Yeah. We would have been fine. Again, we have like savings and emergency funds, and people who watch our day-to-day videos know we would have been fine. But I think we both would have felt better if we had had a little bit more of a savings buffer. And maybe that would have meant like just saving earlier. I don't know. I don't really know. We saved for a year, but we came in pretty close. And it didn't, like, you know, we had $500 left over at the end of the day, technically, but it didn't feel like that was going to happen there at the end.
Well, that's just because I can't do math. No. That's the reason I felt that way. I don't know about you.
No, I just felt like it costs a lot of money to get married.
Yeah.
And the big stuff, you know exactly how much the big stuff is going to cost, but it's all that little stuff that just adds up so fast.
Yeah. Yeah. My mother, 5 days before, why don't you have white shoes? They have to be white. Why?
They looked good.
They did. And they were also gifted. They were also gifted. Campbell. Yep.
So yeah, that's how much our wedding cost. $10,900.
Yep.
Which feels crazy that we spent $10,900 in the last month, if you think about it.
Yeah.
If you could do it all over again, would you do anything different?
Like the day or the budget?
The wedding.
The whole wedding.
Mostly budget centric. This is a finance YouTube channel.
I might have purchased a ready-made pattern for my wedding dress.
Whoa.
Instead of getting a secondary dress and trying to make a pattern from a very, very densely gathered, like, it was just very complicated. And looking at the budget now, that was one line item that I was like, I could have just bought a pattern. I thought I was saving money, and I wasn't.
That's true.
That's the only thing that I feel like I would have done differently.
Yeah.
We were very pragmatic about a lot of things, and the things that ended up not being pragmatic about the wedding were things that were purchased on our behalf that we didn't end up having a whole ton of say in.
Yeah. Because
they were gifts.
Yeah, I think pretty much as far as wedding went, it went very well.
Yeah.
The day of, I didn't find myself wanting for anything.
No.
Except for maybe like another hour.
Yeah.
That was our wedding. It's over. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
What's our next financial priority? What's our big thing we're saving for next?
A house.
We want to buy an apartment.
Yes.
Well, maybe a house if we come up with $1 million. But we want to try to buy an apartment. Some might call it a condo. Some might call it a co-op.
Mm-hmm.
We want to own a piece of something in this dang expensive city. So we saved up $11,000 for a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Spent it all. Now we turn around and start saving up even more for a house.
Yeah. I believe in us.
And that's the end of Just Finance wedding talk.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
It's okay. We still have a honeymoon wrap up to do. But that's all for this Tuesday video. And we'll see you guys for our regular daily budget on Friday.
Mm-hmm.